Hello, good morning, happy Monday. This doesn't look great. This is supposed to be the scene, which it was before. Asitsu, hello. How are you doing today? I have to unplug and replug it back in. Okay. I thought if I did that before I started the stream, everything would be fine. But no, it decided to lose that because I guess it put the monitor to sleep. Okay, I have to change the sleep settings in the Windows computer. All okay today? Hey, that's good. That's good to hear. All right, so that's still not right. Now you're not getting updates. Maybe that's better? Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right, so let's see. Other things. I got a whisper today. So if you whispered me, or actually I got a whisper last Thursday. If you whispered me last Thursday on Twitch, you have block whispers on, so I couldn't respond to say hi back. So sorry if I didn't respond, it's because of that, not because I don't care. Okay, so where did we leave off? We left off today at we were rewriting the tree.rs file so that we can use this in both places, because we need to use this in a I guess like in the normal tree file that we're creating or reading, then also in the what is it called, it's the part file that we're getting from the pack file that we're getting from GitHub. That's what we need to continue working on. I left this note for myself, which I did remember that I left myself a git log message. So right before stream, I was looking through it. I was like, okay, tells me that we're in treat.rs. I come here. I was like, okay, now I see this message. Left me some notes to get started. And of course, we got some errors in here too, which is helpful. So yeah, we're trying to recreate this as a struct so we can store stuff in here as we're getting it. And I don't remember if we wanted this to be its own function or if something else needed to be in that way. So let's jump into it. Okay, so we need to rewrite the tree parser step method and this loop so we can create here. So this is going to be, okay, from is basically just doing step, right? Oh no, this step here. And this loop so we can create tree objects for every line in the bytes. Currently, each step is trying to get a file name from the line. Okay. Right, so we're not getting all the information. I think that's what the problem is that we're getting some information out. Well, actually, the only information we're caring about previously was the name, and now we want everything, which is okay, but clearly a problem, right? Because when we're tree parsing and we're doing step, we return, okay, so like header, we go past that and we return false. Okay, great. We've got the header. Then we're in the mode and we need to get the mode itself, which we get here. Now I'm attempting to set tree object mode, which we're passing in as a mutable tree object, but oh yeah, which is like a single tree object. Okay. And then I also set this to be returning true and false based on, I believe, if we're done or not. If we're like finished with the, like through the entire loop. like all of the lines. Now, if I want to make this work, this would be an okay, false. Return okay, false there. This then sets the mode. We have our tree object. Okay, tree object default. We step, we pass in the tree object. I thought that this returned an option. Doesn't it return a... Oh, this doesn't return an option. With a step in it? Wait, what was I returning before? Oh, self. Oh, but I can't do that because this is a from, because this would need to be a try from, or we need to crash. So if we do self like this, I can't use you. So we just need to expect, this is error stepping through now this would be parse tree objects. Right, so instead of file names push, we're no longer pushing into file names because we're gathering tree objects, but I suppose this would then be tree objects push. Tree object, which then gets recreated. And then now you want to return file names, but I want to return self. This would be self tree objects. Okay, so tree bound hash default not satisfied. Okay, so I need to go to hash and implement default for this, which that should be a U8 would be zeros. Okay, so an array of zeros. Mismatch types expected enum result bool. Found an enum option. Okay, so oh right. Okay, so this would be if we're done with the file name. So I think all of these would be just false. Checksum. I think then in this case, if it's none, that means we're done. So this is return some true. Oh, it's not some, it's okay. Okay, and that's all of the errors in here. We're not importing that anymore. We do have this unresolved import. Okay, so in ls tree, you were trying to bring in this parse tree from bytes, which now is going to be, we create a tree from bytes. Okay. So tree from the bytes. That gives us the file names tree, and then file names iter for each. Okay, so then oh, but then okay, so it's not. So this is gonna be the tree. Let's actually maybe go into tree and create an impl on this. We could create an impl display for tree that just displays these as files, but I think it might be best to allow us to export just the file names from these. Okay, so if I impl tree, probably just want these to be full strings. And then, okay, so pub function file names, we want to iterate through that vector. So I probably just want to map this, right? And then we'll probably have to clone this to make it a string. That comes out to here, and then we will just collect it into the vec of strings. So, okay, now back to here. I want to take the tree, get the file names, and then from that we can iter again, get this thing and do all the things. Now that being said, I don't really need to take ownership of this. So what if instead of a vec string, this became a vec stir? And then I just don't need to clone this. There, and then that should be perfectly happy. Now you're not being read, which is fine for right now because that will change in the future. We will be reading it. So I'm curious if this still works for ls tree. At least that's what we want it to, right? So let's try. Do I have any? What trees do I have? I have git. It's not a tree object. Do you have any others? Ooh, I feel like maybe I don't have any real ones. Okay, so let's try get right tree. And then we'll do a get ls tree for this thing. Okay, so that works, and we can get out that tree. And so now if I do the same thing here, do a cargo run ls tree that. Oh, right. It wasn't just else tree. It was like else tree names only or something. Why are you building forever? Okay, that panicked there. What were you really looking for? Okay, that just passes into ls tree. And then I just ignore you regardless of what this is. I think it was something like name only. So get ls tree. Yeah, dash dash name only. Okay. So for you, what did I just do? Okay, yeah, I deleted a 2. ls tree name only. Okay, panicked at tree line 32. Error stepping through tree, which, I mean, I suppose shouldn't be that big of a surprise. Yeah, there it is. Error stepping through tree. Cannot parse integer from empty string. Okay, so, but at least we're runnable now. So we can run and test things. Now, what happened here? We do a step. It was cannot parse integer from empty string. Parse integer. My guess is that this is going to be a problem with the mode, because I think that's the thing that's an integer. But what we can do is we can put some, I think okay, so we know we didn't get into this panic. I believe we got here, but we can start putting some like debugs in here to sort of like see where we get. So if I put into like a debug, like we're in the header. So if we do that, okay, there we get a whole bunch of errors, and then it crashes. So that tells me that the problem is probably not in here. But if, for example, we come out here, ending header, there's the ending header, and then we get the next one. Okay. So then we go to mode. So let's, I guess we'll call this looping mode. Let's see how many times this happens. Oh, several times. Okay. Well, that's good to know. This happened, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Now, when we go back up and look at the one that we got from ls tree, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was okay. So there's more than this. Although that's interesting. The next one would be the tree itself. So this might be. I wonder if it's not going to see that as a proper U32 because it has that 0 at the beginning. But there's a way for us to check this. So if we remove U, get our mode. We know we don't get this panic. I don't believe we get to here. The next byte. The next byte is U8. I'm curious if we get in here. Okay. We reached the end of mode, turning into U32. And yeah, let's see if this is our problem. My guess is yes. Reach the end of the mode, okay. And so first off, we get the mode. So this is gonna be cool, right? We can put the mode in there. The mode is, oh, the mode is empty. Well, that's not good. So, that seems to be a problem. Okay, so I immediately start looping in here. And I think that we saw that it did loop through the mode multiple times. So that's a good sign. The next byte, okay, so we get bytes.next. Otherwise we get that. So I'm curious. Do we get this next byte multiple times? We should. Okay, so we do. That's good. And we could probably figure out exactly what these are based upon the bytes. But we'll get back to that in a second. So, okay, so if the next byte, now I'm also curious, what is that? $32. Oh, so the 32 is in, the space is included in this. Okay, so if the next byte is a space, I guess like otherwise we're gonna push the next byte into here, into the mode. That's fine. Okay, so if I debug just the full mode at this point, you're empty. I mean, are you running? I would assume that this should run multiple times. Wait, why did I do that? I want to go down here like that. Yeah, pushing into mode multiple times. Okay. So you're pushing into mode multiple times. So mode.push. Now we're in this loop and oh. Yeah. That would cause a problem. We probably need to put the mode out, like initialize the mode outside of the loop. Just a thought. Just a teeny tiny thought. Okay, so now that I've done that, I bet at least we'll get past the mode. And I bet that we can print this out. So let's debug out the mode. And we'll probably crash somewhere else. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so we got 33188, 420, 420, 420. Okay, so mode 0. All right, so that's good. Well, this seems to be stuck in an infinite loop. Which that Why would that be? All right, well, more debugging. We got past mode, I believe. Although these modes look a little bit weird, don't they? Yeah, so we have 33188. Oh, they're not guaranteed to be the same order that we have here, although I can guess that they probably are. Huh, so we have like 420. Oh, are these no, because like 420 like that together would be 6. That doesn't seem right either. I wonder if these are like in hex or something, or if it's not decimal. But that seems not right. Okay, I want to try. What if I don't take this from a radix, right? Actually, I want to see. Okay, what are you? Before we turn it into a string, if we print that out, are they correct? Oh yeah, they are. Okay. Oh, so the from radix isn't helping here. Okay, so we have the 100644. That's good. We have the interesting. We're missing the 100644 on most of them, except the first one. That's interesting. We have the 0000, which I'm thinking is going to be the directory source. But we have, okay, 755, mostly 644s. Okay. What if I... What if we parse you? And then we'll print you out twice. So we'll print out mode before we parse, and we'll print out mode after we parse. Okay, so the number afterwards, 1064, 644, 644. Okay. That's a lot better. So okay, I think that's where we went wrong. We're okay on the modes now. I think I'm a little bit confused about that 100 that we get once and then not the other ones. I'm a little bit worried about that. And we're like consistently missing it too after the first one, which makes me think maybe I'm like skipping something, which is a little bit unfortunate. Like maybe this next is happening twice somehow. But okay. But that wouldn't, oh, that might not be in here somewhere. That might be somewhere else. All right, so we're pushing you in here, and now I want to store this in the tree object. So at the end of the loop, oh, tree object mode equals mode. Okay, so we actually are storing it in here. Great. That means I can now at the end of this we create a tree object. We parse through this. Let's, before we push them into the tree, let's debug the tree object. Oh, but tree object doesn't have a debug. Interesting. Tree object, I don't think there's any reason why you can't have a debug. Besides, I just have to now implement it everywhere. That's cool. That is indeed an infinite loop. So, oh, we're never exiting that outer loop, are we? Okay, so let's panic after 1. Just to make sure we don't exit out. Oh yeah, look at that. I've just pushed this in and there's no, this is just an infinite loop. Oh, I am trying to exit out here. But we never get to tree parser done because we're now on a true false system. That's what it is. If you're true, do nothing. Otherwise false, which is not great the way I did this here, because we have this empty block in the true state. But we can fix that pretty easily. But that means we never, oh wait. Everything is false, so this can just immediately break, and there's only one level of loop here, so we can just break. I don't even need a label like this. And then you should be happy, but either way we're still crashing after 1, so that's that didn't crash. That just returned. Did they not save? Yeah, that just runs and is like perfectly fine. What's going on with that? We're breaking early, aren't we? We never get here. Wait, did I do this backwards? Okay, so I'm returning a Boolean. Okay. Oh, okay, false, because we're not done yet. I think I was trying to do it nicely down there and I didn't update this here. So if you're true, otherwise continue on. Okay. There we go. All right, so our very first object, we have a mode of 0. That's not great. It's a blob. The file name is empty. And the checksum is just the empty the empty array because that's default, right? Okay. I mean, I think the only thing that we've really done here is the mode. And I'm a little bit concerned about that mode being 0. There was one that was 0, so that might be okay. Okay, let's try this. Instead of me debugging and panicking here, let's debug the tree objects. Oh, okay, so we are getting the different modes. So we have mode 0, blob, 10644 blob, multiple zeros. Two, three objects in here? That doesn't seem right. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to return false if we're continuing, if we're not done. Okay, so mode return false. File name return false. Checksum. Let's return false. We're not done. False, but if here, then this becomes true. Luaniki, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, many more items here. That's much better. Too many items? Hard to tell. Are you doing good? Excellent. I'm doing pretty good. I had to start the stream a little bit late today because I had a meeting for my work, and I have another one at 2:30 today, so we have to start a little bit early. But besides those, everything is great, going great. Waleed, hello. How are you? You're learning how to use in Rust. I mean, so U is a framework that you build, that framework that's written in Rust. So you just basically program U, if that makes any sense. The website for U has a great tutorial to sort of get you very bare bones started. And then if you have to use trunk to get everything going, but it should be fine. How do I get to the level like you where you just randomly can decide I'm going to code the next kit? I would say the number one thing that allows me to do something like that is a growth mindset. And then all growth mindset really means is you recognize that we don't know what we don't know, which is a lot of things, and that we can get there, right? Like we have to accept that we don't know it right now, but we can know it in the future if we apply ourselves, and we like, it's a combination, like work hard and also work really smart at it. And then once you get there, it's like, okay, well, let me try it. And then if you can't do it, note down, well, why did I not be able to do it? Oh, I need to learn this other thing first. Okay, let me go learn that other thing. And then eventually you'll come back to it and it's like, oh, yeah, I can totally do this now. So yeah, that's how to get to that point. I'm still seeing 2 modes with 0, which I don't think is right. 3 modes with 0. Doesn't feel right because I didn't think I had that many zeros. But I do have some of the other ones, which is interesting. I think there's too many of those too. Art Winnin, hello. TLDR, code a lot. I mean, that's a big part of it. Just practice. And good practice too, because there's that entire idea of Not good practice. Okay, well, let's... You try Flutter, React, and now can you suggest, well, suggest you what? Like what to learn next? Or like, I guess the real question is, why are you, like, why? Which is a surprisingly harder question to answer until you sort of like know it. Like, why learn it? Like, what's your why for your project? But again, why is the project happening? Is it a learning project? Is it a project for work? Is it a project for school? Is it a contract project where you're going to be giving it away and other people are going to support it? Are you going to have to support this in the future? Do you want to support it? Or is it just like sort of learning and fun? Okay, thanks. Good luck with coding. You're friendly. Keep your character. You're going back to learning. Well, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us a little bit. And good luck with the learning. Good questions. Music to my ear. I have to put on my like management / coaching hat, which like to me they're not really all that different. And that's where those come from, right? Because like every single project has different requirements, and many of the requirements aren't technical. They're things like why is this project happening? Because then once you know that, all the other things can now fall into place because you can make decisions based upon what's going to happen to the project later. Okay, so mode. Now I exit here, but I'm a little bit concerned about this mode constantly being like not the right one. Now we parse this out. If we put our debug back here again, and I don't return these, or I don't print out these. This is correct. There's only one 0 mode, so that's a little bit odd. But the type system seems to be fine with me pushing in this. Okay. So that is interesting, isn't it? All right, so I'm creating a tree object. We're parsing through, and oh, that's the other problem. For each step, I'm looping through. Okay, hold on. I can't. Yeah, we might have to rewrite step. Because look at this. I'm doing a loop in here. Okay, I'm doing a loop in all of these things. But I don't know if I'm... Okay, so when I'm done, I need to create a new tree object. I'm creating a new tree object on each loop here, which is not right, because once again, I go through this loop multiple times per row. And I want to create a new... I need to create a new tree object at the end of the row. That's what the problem is. Okay, I'll explain again. Your university final year project is to make a SQL database engine in Rust. You've done SQL compiler and storage side. Now you need client-side app. So tried Flutter, React, and Vue. So it's university. You probably don't need to support this afterwards again. The decisions that I would make if you tried all of them, what will help you get the highest grade in the shortest period of time? Because that's really all we care about, right? Once we're at that point. Personal projects are for learning, but like this is now a project. So this is, think of this as like a work project then. This is less time for learning and more of a time for just application and get it done. So what can you do it in that's fast? Also, is this a group project where it's just you, or a group project where it's team or just you? If it's just you, then it doesn't matter, right? Because you get full control over everything, and you have to live with your own experience, your own choices, but it's also you kind of like know what you're getting into. If nobody else on the team, if it's a team and nobody else on the team knows you, then that would be really bad to choose you, because now you've just made it that you're the only one who can do that, which means more work for you, and that is not ideal. That being said, for front end, all three of those technologies are very good. They all can get the job done. I'm mostly familiar with React and Vue. Only Vue. Okay, great. I'm mostly familiar with React and Vue. If it was me and my skill set right now, I would probably choose Vue, because that's just what I like and what I can do. For you, you're going to have to sort of like look inwards, like how much extra learning do you have to do for each of those? Like figure that out. Like assign a number using like I would say like a Fibonacci sequence starting at 5. So what, like 5, 8, 5, 8, 13, 5, 8, 13, whatever, 21. Starting there, and assign your complexity, your understanding of how complex and like how much work and effort and all that stuff would be to each one of those, and then choose the lowest one. I basically say Fibonacci for that, because when you look at the numbers, it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, well, like, those numbers are so close together, they could be both 2 or whatever. But when they're Fibonacci sequence, you look at the numbers and say like, oh, a 5 and 8, okay, those are not too different. A 5 and 8 and a 13, well, 13 is now much higher than 8 even. And so it becomes a little bit easier to go like, oh, actually, I'm not quite as good at Flutter. I'm a little bit better at React than you. That might be like what we think of. That's how I would do it. Okay. Tree object. Okay. Oh, right. So I need to figure out how to create the tree object in loop, or reset the tree object, or do something else. Now, what I could do is, once we're in here for the break. No, I need this. Okay, so after we push. This is, I don't like this. But it should work. What do you mean it's never read? I'm reassigning it here. Oh, because this is reset. Okay. Oh, right. I need to do this out here. And now we reset you. This is definitely a code smell. But I believe that now we can debug the tree objects, and it should make sense. And we'll keep that other debug in there. I'm still getting multiple mode zeros, which is not, that's not right. Okay, so I think my entire logic idea of the loop is wrong. That can be the only explanation for this, is because I'm looping through and going back to default. That's the only reason I'm getting multiple zeros when I don't want it to be. I need your suggestion because this is near to your house, a software house sponsored my master in computer science and a basic project. Oh, well, you can get something much better than my suggestion. If you go to that software house, I would get their suggestion. Is this software house potentially going to employ you afterwards? Because if so, I would ask them. They suggested React. If it was me, I would go with what they suggested, because if they're suggesting that and they're helping you through this course, they have a vested interest in you learning those specific skills so that they can then have you use those skills as soon as you graduate. And if you choose a different framework, you face a problem to work with React. Imagine this though. Would you face that problem with React after you graduated? When do you want to start learning a project? Do you want to start learning it when you start working and they're paying for you, or when you're in college and you have a project to work on and you have a lot less, you don't have like a manager who's I don't want to say breathing down your back, but like basically concerned about your speed. I know you're easy in you. I know that you're good at you, but think about the implications of your choice. And think about the future, because you're about to start working where they're going to use React. They suggested React. What do you think they are assuming that you're going to choose as your technology? Will they be happy if they find out that you didn't learn React and now they have to teach you React? Those are important questions to ask. Like, and we have to take a hard look at that, because please suggest best way to learn React in 3 or 4 weeks. Build your project in React. The best thing is you say you're good at U. React, U is based on React. Most of, like 90% of the knowledge about just web development that you got in U should transfer to React. So the standard way you learn anything, really, you build stuff. And you have a project, so you build the project. The best way to build a project is to make sure that it's in like GitHub or Git, like some type of Git, and then constant commits. Like, don't commit at the end of the day, commit way more often than that. Because that way, if you discover, oh, I did something wrong, or like, oh, I need to learn, I need to do it this other way, you can do that really easily by just reverting or taking out a branch to do a feature or something else, and then you merge in when you're done with it. And so if you do that with commits, you're good to go. And everything will be much easier. All right, apparently an ad is starting in around 10 seconds on Twitch. I don't know why. I usually get that notification here in the chat. I didn't today, but sorry about that, everyone on Twitch. So your plan is to make client in React and then send JSON to REST server, and after process. Yeah, that's pretty standard. That's a very standard way to do it. And as you mentioned, if it's a very simple app, that shouldn't take that much time. So the other thing is, like, when we're learning a new technology, we don't want to learn the technology before trying to build the application. Just start building the application and then learn when you run into a problem. So as soon as you run into something, you're like, oh, I can't do that. Well, now learn that one thing. Learn how to get past that one bottleneck. And as soon as we're done with that bottleneck, we go back to the project again. And that way we don't run into the tutorial hell that we constantly see ourselves getting into. We don't run into over preparing. We just learn exactly what we need to learn when we need to learn it. Can I share my streaming plan? You discuss things. Oh, you could also discuss things on Discord. I have a link to the Discord in YouTube somewhere, on the profile, or like on the page profile. I put in one of those like links to Discord, like the actual Discord channel. I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So I'll be online starting at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, and then again on Wednesday. And that's 9:30 Mountain Time. So GMT -7, something like that. Okay, what were we doing here? We were tree object default. We were looking at a rewrite. Okay, so I put this outside of here, but we're still not doing this right, because when I step through it's getting some of the information right. Absolutely, and good luck, and just like do your best to keep calm about everything, because like panicking has never helped anyone cross the line with a project ever. And welcome back, Twitch. All right, so if the loop is the problem, we need to rethink how this works. So if I didn't have any of this code here, what would I want it to look like from this side? Let's actually do that. We don't have the code anymore. It's here. Let's say I want my tree objects. So I want those. So in order to get them, I want to just loop through, grab each. I probably want to loop through each line, right? And I think each line, so I can probably split the bytes based upon a new line. can I map this? So I want to map. No, wait. It's better to map. It's better than map. Can I split? There's no split. Wait. What's value? Value is just a vec. Can I split here? Oh, I can split here. Returns an iterator over subslices separated by elements that match. Okay, so we split. We have a predicate. So this is our bytes. Oh, this is a single byte. And I want this to be a split true when the byte is equal to a new line. Now, do I care about collecting this back again? Because I can still just get next and get the other thing. So, okay, let's do that. So we have these are our lines. And if I debug the lines, so let's just do lines.count. How many do we have? We should see we should see 10. No implementation for, a referenced, okay. It's a good idea to learn things, to build project. I learned Rust when making SQL compiler and storage. You make a B tree in Rust hard for you, but B plus primary tree not working well. I mean, yeah, but like then you learn exactly what you need to make that one pass, and then you can go back to what you really want to do. Okay, so this is our problem here. So we can solve this by doing that. Two. We got 2. There's only 2 lines? Oh no, that's not what I want. I want all 10. Now, does this split once? Oh, is the value compressed bytes or decompressed? Is the new line compressed or not? I don't remember. That's a good, well, wait a second. So, okay. I'm able, also, hello, Skimmis. The answer is yes. Unfortunately, it's a combination of compressed and decompressed bytes. The question now is that new line in the decompressed bytes or not? Because I don't remember anymore. But what we can do in here, so let's take a look at this one itself. So if I let's hex dump this file. Oh, and I guess before that, why am I putting this into there? Do I have to? Okay, yeah, that you just show up there. That's fine. So our first one, we want to go until we see, oh, and if I remember correctly, it does it weird where, okay, so we have tree, the length, for this one line, then 1 0, okay, so that's that. That's a null, I think, right? So TREE space 373 null mode. So 100644 space get attributes null and then the hash okay, and then here's where it starts the next one. Oh, it just goes right up to it? That's... Oh no, it just goes right up to it, doesn't it? Oh, but it's 20 bytes. We know it's 20 bytes. Okay, so there's the null, then the mode, right? Like TREE space 373 null 100644 space dot GIT ATTRIBUTES null, and then it should be 20 bytes. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Wait, 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. It's not 20 bytes, it's 40 bytes, right? Because like AE or something like that. You should probably have more specific wrapper types around evacuate and implement from for those wrapper types that confusion has happened. Yeah. Although like what we have in there that we just get from the pack file is a combined mess of stuff. And this is like trying to extract it out from there, because we just, from the pack file, all we get is just a vector of bytes that include like all this stuff. So that's what we're trying to get out now. If that makes sense. Also, Epic, hello. How are you doing today? Now I do see another null down here. So I saw a null here. There was a null right here. So I wonder if I wait 40 bytes, then we're gonna see a null. Is it null ending instead of new line ending? Nope, not that. I wanted that. 12 lines. Oh, but then wait, it's 12 nulls. 12 nulls. Which might make sense. Because we see a null right here after the tree and size, we see a null. And then we see another null after the file name. And then we see another null after the other one, I think. I think that's how it works. Epic, all is good here. It's interesting to see you poke around the insides of Git like it's section, but less smelly. I don't know. I guess it's only smelly. It's less smelly because like there's just like, you know, it's still being used, still fresh, still warm. Waleed, hello. Oh wait, I already said hello. I'm responding to a simple comment. Okay, my brain, that transfer of what is it called? The context transfer did not work in that moment. First time you watch me, tell me about myself. Let's see. I am a software developer. I do that for a quote day job. But of course that day job is, well, now it's 14 hours a week. It got upgraded from the 10 hours a week that it previously was. Which is also why I have like little meetings scattered here and there, and then the streams have to be around it. But I also am an educator. I've done education in the past, and I am building courses. This is a project that I did as partnership with CodeCrafters. And I also do, like, I'm creating a course, like, for example, I'm creating a course on Docker right now. And tomorrow, the stream is all about starting to fix some of the things that we found in beta testing, which is going to be fun. And I also have fun with code type things. So on Wednesdays, we're doing fun coding things. We're going to do Shenzhen.io as the sequel, kind of, sort of, to TIS 100. So yeah, that's like the super quick about me. So I bet if I skip the first two, free tell about Docker. Docker is it's a container technology. So containerization, it's not really VM, although when you're first starting to use it, using like VM as sort of like a mental model might be helpful. It basically allows us to run operating systems inside of our operating system. And you can then use that to wrap your code and environments for programming inside of them, and then either deploy it in the container system or just dev in the container system. Either way, both ways are very good. So that's like also the 30-second intro to Docker. And then once you know more about it, you realize, oh, this is not a VM. This is something else. Okay. So I'm thinking that we skip the first two. So if I split, and so let's skip 2. Now, if I count the rest, it's still going to be 12. But I no longer have the header, right? Actually, let's go over it and see. Okay, so I bet, yeah, so if we start in header and I want to parse the header out. So instead of step, let's just implement like a parse on this. So tree parser, header. Ooh, do I want to mute self on this? Or do I want to return a new parser of like what that needs to be? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not also sure what I want to return from this yet. So we'll just do this. Also, what am I parsing? I'm going to parse whatever this is. So if I get the next line, so I guess if I get a line, so we just get the first one. So, okay, you're going to be an option of U8. Okay, so you're going to be an option of bytes, essentially. Perfect. So we'll have our line. We'll call that just the bytes. I could have this as an option in here where I just, okay, just pass this in. So an option, U8. Was it that or was it the other way around? I don't remember anymore. All right, so just to make sure that I don't confuse myself too much, I'm just going to print out the bytes. And it's not too many to begin with. This is just the tree space length end. Okay, so we get you, we do next. Okay, so let's do parser, parse, pass in the line, pass in the line, and that's it. Now, if I do that, we should see not the decompressed or whatever it is bytes do it. Okay, so okay, so this would be TREE space 353 or whatever that was. Okay, that seems right. And then we're missing then. Okay, now we're missing the what is it called? We're missing the thing, the null. The null's missing because they got split out. All right, I think we're good. So I don't know if this needs to be part of an enum anymore. This might just be standalone functions that we have that can then fill out the tree object. Or we put this stuff into tree object itself. Yes, what if we do that? What if we parse? Now, okay, in tree object, we're going to have the mode, object type, file name, checksum. We have nothing about the header. And so all we want to do is we want to skip this. So we're going to skip 1. Now we get the next line. Suyash, hello. How are you doing today? Can I use Docker for my Rust server and use anywhere? Because at this time, every time I need to run the server on my laptop, localhost, how do I communicate with server across networks? You can run it, but I don't know if that solves the problem that you're looking into, Waleed. When you run Docker, it's still going to have the issue of you need an IP address or a host name associated to the server that Docker is running on, and then you can send communication to that. So if you have like a server somewhere where your code is going to run, then either your code can just run on the server itself, or it can run in Docker on that server. Either way, you need something to forward the message from like the edge of like the networking into that server. Does that make sense? So yeah, you're doing great. How's my time going on? It's going pretty well today. Well, we got a little bit of late start because of a work meeting I had to do. But besides that, it's good. And I guess like that meeting was good too. I can't really say like besides that, I guess. Okay, so what were we looking at? So next up, after this one, we're now going to have the mode space file name null. So this one is going to be the get attributes. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21 characters. Okay, so this would be one, 0, 0. Okay, yeah, so here, 49. Oh yeah, because it's not the hex that's shown in here, it's different over here. So we have 49. So 1, 0, 0, 6, 4, 4 space dot GIT ATTRIBUTES and then null. Okay. All right. That's good. So yes, you're going after learning some Zod stuff. Nice. I've not really looked into Zod at all, so I have no idea what it really is. But it has a really cool sounding name. Okay, so the first one was pretty simple. We just skipped that. So the second one is we now extract the mode and the file name, which is unfortunate, but we can do that. That's going to be great. And if we think about this, this is separated out by just a space. Okay, so let's create a new function, which I wonder, we can do this inside of tree object, can't we? So pub function extract parse mode and file name. I know you're not usually supposed to have an and that sort of like indicates that it's a separate thing, but yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so mute self, and then we're gonna have our bytes, which is going to be an option. And I'm not going to return anything because we're just setting what this is. So first off, if we don't have the bytes, there's nothing for us to do. So we just do an early return of nothing. So I guess we'll do a let some just an early return. Once we have that, oh, now you remember that you learned you from the playlist. Oh, thank you. Awesome. I'm glad it's helpful. Okay, so and coffee drinker, hello. How are you doing today? Now that we have these bytes, we want to split them on the space. So, and how do I want to do this? We can do, we're going to split what? Well, how did I do that? It's not what I want. Okay, so we get our bytes. We get our byte. And I want to look at the byte is a space. And so this is now going to be one and then the other. So what what are you? You're the split bytes? I don't know if this makes sense. Okay, so we have you. We want to get the first one. And then I want to get the next one. Okay, the first one is going to be what? The first one's going to be the mode. So the mode is going to be equal to the split bytes we're going to get next. You need to be mutable. Okay. That becomes an option of U8. If you don't exist, so then let's expect out missing mode from, I guess that's just gonna be missing mode. This is the mode as bytes, right? The mode as bytes. Let's get the file name as bytes. You're doing good, squashing some bugs in your own code. Nice. Okay, so we got those two things. So we got the mode as bytes and we got the file name as bytes. Next up, we want to take the mode and convert it into a U8, which should be fairly simple. We just parse it so that our mode is going to be equal to wait, this is byte still. We have to turn into a string first, right? From UTF-8, hand it the mode as bytes. All right, so let's return a result. That gives us a stir. And now I want to take this and I want to parse it. Can I parse it directly all in one go? Ooh, I can. Okay, so parse that. Question mark you. You're upset because of this. Okay, you don't know what type it is yet, but we have to use it. So then down here we're gonna say self.mode equals mode. And now you know you're gonna be parsed into that, which is great. Why are you upset? Implicit. Oh, you're upset because we're not returning okay like that, which is fine. Now we're gonna do the same thing here. File name is bytes, so I want to turn this into a string. So And then you're already just a string, which is fine. So we can just to-owned you. And we're good to go there. And now we can say self.filename equals filename. Perfect. You're set now. So if we run this once, so we get this line here, and we hand you in, so this is maybe we already have our parser. We need a tree object. Okay, so I create a tree object, we get the next line, and then I want to tree object, parse mode and file name, hand it the line. I can't do that, so this is gonna be expect error parsing. Okay. Parser parse. Let's not parse this anymore. Are we debugging anywhere? We are not. Let's now debug out the tree object. And then let us panic. So we want to panic. After doing it once. I don't want to do the rest of the stuff and cause anything else to happen. By the way, what's the total progress of the project? We're really close to being done. If I had a full day to work on it today, I would basically say that I'm pretty close to being done. But like maybe the end of the maybe we could have been able to get it done by the end of today. But after I can only spend, I have an hour and a half left on this. I'm guessing is probably going to be next week, Monday. Now at least. Wally, do I play video games? I do. I don't have a console besides a Switch right now. So all I have is PC, PC and Switch. Obviously, and mobile phone. Basically, a new project will come. What I'll probably be doing is switch over to working on the LMS and the course until at least like that's sort of tidied up. There's a lot of things to work on it. But once we get close to that, I have like a bunch of projects to choose from, and some of them are more fun than others. I have to sort of like decide which one to go with. We might go with like a more serious project. We might not. I haven't decided yet. Okay, let's see what we get. Hey, look at that. Okay, so we got our mode, we got our get attributes. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So we're able to do this on, I want to repeat this now for everything else. So if we look at our PIG-Z again, we're skipping the header, we're handling the mode and the file name, and now the next thing that we're going to get is the hash, and I'm missing this. We need to get out the header, what type it is. But that's a space. So that should be fairly simple. Okay. So let's, we need to, object type is next. This is a perfect time for a commit. Okay, so we're refactoring the tree parser. Can you tell the disadvantage of using Panic and Rust? I remove it from my server project because every server crashed. So you think of panic as a forced crash. And sometimes we do want it to crash. We do want our servers or our projects to crash. The way we know we want it to crash is if we're ever in a state that we don't trust anymore. So imagine that you're handling user data and then just something really weird, the database goes wrong. And now it's like, did it save? Did I not save? What do I do anymore? I don't even know. I don't know what the state is. You want to crash at that point and then to restart it from scratch, because then you know like everything's sort of reset and back the way it should be. But if you know how to handle that and like the code is like, okay, no, I know exactly where we are, I know what went wrong and we're okay, you don't want it to crash and you want it to just sort of prepare for another like round to go and to try again. So that's when you don't want to panic, or equivalent. Like an unwrap is the same as a panic, really, if you think about it. Fit, hello, how are you doing today? I'm confused, Siyash. Or is that about my things of crashing, like on crashing on purpose? Okay, so I do need the header. So we need a function. I don't want to skip this. This was wrong. We want to parse the header. So we're going to get that. All right, so the first thing we want to split this on, well, I guess like the first thing that we do is exactly what we do doing out here. We grab you out, otherwise not good things. And instead of this return okay, you know what we should do? We should change this to a bail and say missing bytes. And then that will tell us like, hey, we're not supposed to be missing these bytes. But okay. We get our bytes. That's great. Fit, you just came to see what's happening with Git or Docker. You're building, quite busy these days. Yeah, quite busy these days. Plus, I just got a little bit busier because my day job went up to 14 hours a week. So 50% more time spent on it. However, that's only for the next 4 weeks. So it should only be for 1 month, and then we'll be back to this, hopefully. Please explain the difference between Hyper, TCP Listener, and Tokyo. You know a little bit, but not much. Hyper and Tokyo are both libraries that let you do stuff, right? I'm guessing that TCP library is that also a crate library? So Tokyo is there to handle our async code and to make things happen where things can happen. I shouldn't say simultaneously, but appear to be simultaneously, basically inside of like some kind of event loop. And Hyper is there to do the really low bare metal HTTP server type stuff for us, to sort of like to grab HTTP requests coming in, to be able to send them back out again. And then something like Axum is interfacing with Hyper for us, so we don't have to do all the sort of like the bare metal low level stuff with Hyper, but we have a nice interface to deal with it. And TCP Listener is probably something that Hyper is using. That's my guess, but I haven't really looked into it too much. Concurrency, that's what it is. Thank you, Esquimus. Concurrently. How do you keep your concentration and not get tired? Okay, couple different things. The biggest one that I've read about And I am very privileged right now. I guess I should say I'm privileged right now because I have both the money as like backup, plus my wife works a pretty good job. So I can handle not working full-time job and doing this at the same time. So because of that, I am able to focus each day on a separate project. And when you sleep, you sort of like reset your brain. So the next day I wake up and whatever I'm working on, that's all I work on for the day. Because of that, I don't really get a hit by, oh, I'm like losing my focus on like this thing to another thing. So that's the big one. And the other thing is I have found that I just get distracted a lot when I'm just trying to do this on my own. So ironically, I get done a lot faster, a lot more on stream, even like responding to all of you, than if I were to just go off on my own and try to like, okay, let me just focus on this on my own. Xanax, welcome, and thank you so much for the subscription. How are you doing today? You got my message, right? I know you sent me a message earlier this morning, and I tried to respond to it, but I haven't looked to see if you sent anything back. And coffee, you found a bug in your code after 45 minutes of staring at the screen. Oh, fun. Hey, that's better than like, a day, right? Are those Project Rust related? Is that something you are working on or something or have to be yes and no. So let's see. Mondays is this, which is Git in Rust. Tuesdays is, now I was doing the course, so that was not Rust, but we're going back into Rust again because the LMS that I wrote is in Rust and U. So that's going to be back to Rust again. And then Wednesdays we're playing a game, and that game is going to be Shenzhen.io, which is a programming in assembly game. So 2 languages throughout the week. But if you think about how like what web development really is, web development is constantly switching between languages in the same project. Like if you have something like a backend that's in Rust and a front end in React, that's 2 languages right there. But then oftentimes we have to dive into HTML and CSS and still a little bit of JavaScript, even if you're running in U or something like that. So we're constantly having to switch between languages. And what I found is that it's not the language itself switching that really hits us hard. It's the project switching. It's the context. It's the context of the entire purpose and like what we're working on. So that to me is still, or maybe it's just because my brain has been broken by like working in web development for so long that like I'm used to the switching between languages now, and it's the project switching that hits me the most. What do I think of the Rust plus Next.js stack? I mean, I think that any of the stacks recently have been really good. So my answer is unfortunately going to be the same regardless, which is like, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, like they all let us do things really fast, really great. So I think I think we're going to look back and decide that this was like the beginning of, or maybe the golden age of web development, because all the tooling is so much better now. You started rewriting the server for a turn-based multiplayer game yesterday. The whole API is behind an almost global Arc mutex right now, which renders the whole async await part basically useless. Found a really nice article that shows a lock-less approach, trying to implement that now. Good luck with that. Hopefully you're able to get it, because that'll be a pretty huge update. Okay, so we have our bytes. We want to parse this out. We have to take our bytes and get the head out of it. Oh, okay, we split this on a space, which is really this. Now, this is like split twice. This is gonna be interesting. The only problem is like, this is 2 to think. Oh, split space. It's literally the same thing. And then I want the first one So the first one is the same as this file name, bytes. Except instead of file name, I want to change this to the type. Okay. So we have our type as bytes, missing type and parsing no mode and type. Okay, and then we set self dot. Oh, I forgot self. Does it move self? Wait, no. What's that? How could I forget that? Okay, self, nope, no, don't do that. Self dot, oh, it's the mode. It's the mode. Mode equals nope. I was wrong then. Again, it's stop. Select, select, search, type, mode, change, type. Okay. So type is bytes, and then I want to create the mode. No, I want to create the object type. So tree object type. Now tree object type, what can I take this from? What are my choices? Blob and tree, nothing. Oh, cool. I can implement a from on that. All right, thank you, Walid. Oh, well, let me. There's a little emoji from that. So thank you. Okay. Also, okay, yeah, now Xanax, I see your reply. Excellent. There was a good conversation going on in over the last like day or two in Discord about the negatives or the potential negatives that run into self-hosting an email server. Like what you know, because it's pretty cool to be able to do that, but it's really not, like, it's really dangerous. It's like really easy to screw that up and get blacklisted and all that stuff, which is not fun. Okay, so let's just implement a from for this. This will be fun. So impl from, now this is gonna be bytes, right? So we could just say u8. Oh, wait, I can't do this. Can I? I've tried this before. And I think that it doesn't let me do it because it doesn't know how big it is. Like, it needs to know the size of compile time or something like that. Maybe not. Maybe that was something else. Okay, so I want to, I guess I want to convert this into a string. And then we go into there. Otherwise, if I figure out what the bytes are. So can I const in here? I don't know. That doesn't need to be, it's going to be fast. Let's just Is that stringified? Okay, so this is error unable to extract tree object type string from bytes. Okay, so that gives me that. Then I just want to match on stringified. So if this is a let's match this to lowercase just in case. Well, that returns a string. Oh, come on. Aster. Okay, so if you're a blob, you're going to return a self blob. If you're a tree, you're going to return a self tree. And if you're anything else, you're going to return an unreachable. Cannot. So what was that? Attempting to extract tree object type. But not one of the types. Okay, so that's a from, and that's the that's the bytes. So now from, we hand it the type is bytes. That gives me a tree object type, and now I can use this as object type in here. Okay, and why did I do mode? Why would I do that? Okay, object type. Okay, so now we should have the object type, and that should be good. So now we debug this. Okay, so we get the first line. These sort of things happen together, right? We get a line, and then we're going to do a tree object. We're going to parse the header, hand it the line, and we're going to expect error parsing header. And then here we're going to get the next line. So if we think about this, I don't need the line there. We're just going to do lines.next. Lines.next. Okay. So we get those two things, then we debug, then we panic. Excellent. We have 12 warnings now. That's cool. We're growing in warnings. Also, I apparently get committed without thinking about it. That's cool. All right, we now see that the object type is tree. We have the mode. We have the file name. The next one is the checksum, which I think is going to be 40. It's going to be 40 or 20 characters. Fit, you're currently stuck with finding a good way of implementing WebSockets in Rust. You thought Tokyo Tungstenite could help, but it's not really having the interface you expect. You look at WebSockets as opening a connection on some port and then listening to certain events that come with some data. Are there any recommendations you can give me? I have not heard of any good libraries for WebSockets. Tungstenite is the best one that I've heard of, but unfortunately, I don't have a better one, unfortunately. I think that there is some work being done there, but yeah, that's my sort of answer is, sorry. I actually wrote an entire wrapper around a at one point in time around a WebSocket thing, just that I would never have to implement it again because it sucked. Fun if you don't need to receive critical mails, payments, government stuff on an account. I have a mail hosted by a third party just because I want to deal with that mail bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, Fit. Good luck with the project. It's one of those like, let's just commiserate together, or maybe somebody who has time can build a better WebSocket server. All right, and ad is starting in around 15 seconds. And I skipped the last break, so I'm probably going to take this one as a break. Go refill my tea so I can drink a little bit more and be back in 3 minutes or so. And then we'll be ready for the last hour of work. So that is starting right now. I will be back in a couple minutes. All right, we still have like 2 minutes left on the break. All right, so I guess we can take a little look into this. Plus, I can eat and snack. So next up here, we'd be parsing the hash. Now this one's going to be interesting because I think that it's null terminated, but I think I just go to the end. So I think this is the only one I want. So I don't think I have to split it. I think we're just good on this. Now I am curious on how long this is. I believe that this should be length 40. So let's actually try this. Let's debug. Oh, we have to get the sum bytes. Welcome back, Twitch. Okay, so we have a parse hash. We extract the bytes out with the sum bytes. We have those, and so the next thing that I want to do is let's right now check to see how long this is, because my guess is that these are bytes and I want to convert them into a hex. Right? Like what? Okay, your checksum is a hash. Your hash is that, do I implement like a from? So I implement a new hash with this U820. I wonder if I want to implement like a from U840. I'm really curious about how long this is going to be. Wait, why aren't you helping me? Oh, because I misspelled some. That would do it. Okay, so I should now see how long these bytes are if I use this. I almost ran this without parsing the hash and be like, why didn't I get the length? Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing up here. So we're going to parse the hash. We get the next lines, error parsing hash. And the length is 37. Why is it 37? Why is that not 20 or 40? Oh, is it? Wait, okay, so is it 37 because this is compressed? This is compressed. This is a compressed 40 length hash, isn't it? All right, what did I do before? Oh, interesting. So I just got the next 20 of them. That's all I cared about. It's just the 20. Okay. I am still concerned about this though. Oh, I wonder if it's going to be something like the length. If there's going to be something else in there. I can't remember what exactly it looks like anymore. But we can print line this, and that might work. I could just throw it into self. Yeah, so let's try this. Let's debug. Oh, would I hex it? It's just gonna be 20 of them. It might be. Yeah, let's debug this first. I want to see. Oh wait, I bet these aren't readable. These are not readable. If they were, I bet this is okay. So I bet these are the compressed. Okay, so let's do. We have to do the entire thing with the compressed stuff. The compressor. How does that work again? It's the something. Oh, right, it's the decoder. So I want a decoder for read. Okay, so I want a decoder. You take in, oh, anything that implements read, which I think would be the bytes. Oh, how do I do this? Like read. There was the read the exact number of bytes required to fill the buffer. Right, okay, and that takes in a buffer. So then let mute. This will be the hash. It's going to be a give me 20 of those. Oh, right, we start with zeros, so we just fill it with zeros. That'll be fine. Read exact into there, and then I should be able to debug the hash. Okay, and we are parsing this, so we're running that, so this should be fine. Corrupt deflate stream. Oh, well, that's not great. Corrupt deflate stream. So the decoder didn't like that. Is it the zlib decoder? Is it decoded? Or is it just in something else? Maybe it's not a decoder. Now, if I try to run this hash, this I believe fails, right? Because it's not printable characters. Oh wait, no, because that's just empty. If I try to print these out, I believe this fails. This should crash, right? No, it's when I try to turn this into... It's when I try to turn this into a string. That's when it crashes. Can I do something with hex for this? Let's see, it's turning into string would be hex encode. Yeah, so I probably want to encode as hex string using lower characters. Okay. So if I encode you, which you take a T, so if I pass into bytes, I wonder if you're going to crash. That looks way too long. It's supposed to be 20. Decode, I don't think would work here. Although I do tend to get them mixed up in my mind all the time, constantly throughout this project. So we could try it. I don't think this will work. So my thought is no, this is a bad idea and won't work. Yeah, I think I'm passing in more than 20. So yeah, okay. So let's go back to decode. Sorry, let's go back to encode. But instead of passing this, let's now pass in 0 through 20. So the first 20 bytes. Oh, the size, right, because you don't know how big this is. Well, fine. I have to convert this into kind of like into vec or something. Oh, because okay, no, that won't work. So then I have to do bytes to vec that. Now I can do that. Well, now I'm telling you I don't care how long, hey, this is, okay, so what, I want, Oh, it's just the stupid reference. I keep on forgetting I need the stupid reference. Like that. I never needed to convert it to a vec. Yeah, I see that now. I moved the chat onto the same window that I'm programming on, and I didn't look right to see that. Thank you, Skimus. Okay, so if we do that, then let's try this again. That looks better. So let's now create a hash. And we'll hand it. Ooh, but I can't. I have to take like ownership of this. Oh, it won't let me take a reference, will it? Oh, that sucks. So I'm not gonna be able to do something like this, where bytes of 0 through 20. Yeah, expected owning it, but I can't do this either because it doesn't know how long this is. Oh, fun. Fun. Okay, so you would think like, hey, I'm telling you to be exactly 20. Come on, just like take it. There's probably a try from impl for U8N. Ooh. Let's try into then. Yeah, it doesn't yell at me. Okay, so that's probably exactly what it is. Okay, so we set that. Now we want self.hash. What? Oh, self.checksum equals hash. Okay, so now you're done. Now we're going to come back up to here, and we have our debug happening after the first one. So still good. So there's our hash. Our Cloud, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, you redeemed the Change Helix theme to RO Cloud. I don't think that there's a theme called RO Cloud. Do you have another theme you want to change to? Otherwise, I'll just redeem it back to you. Here, I'll redeem it back to you. And if you come up with a theme you want, you could redeem it again and put that theme in there. No problem. I'm trying to figure out better ways to use channel points for stuff. All right. Okay, so we debugged the tree object. I am interested in the tree itself. So if I debug the tree object, checksum, do I implement display for this? I do. Which then I encode it. Perfect. Okay, so let's just print line. Okay, so for the first tree object, I guess we'll just do the one thing, right? So we'll have object dot mode object type, file name, checksum, and then that should display out properly. Oh, you don't implement display, but you implement debug. So that'll be fine. Okay, so now we see, here's the hash that we see out of there like that. Now, if I do our get ls tree for get attributes, this is 176a. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we got it out. Perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. So, and I think that's all the information. I think now we're at the end of the line and we're done. You're right. That is the wrong type, isn't it? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So we're not right. We're not done. This is a tree. I took it from the tree itself, which is this entire thing, but this is a blob. Okay, hold on. Now I need to this is the entire file. So that's wrong. How do I know if it's a blob or not? Do I just know based upon the mode? I don't remember anymore. Ooh, but I want, well, not this thing. I want this is how to use LS tree. I want the actual tree behind the scenes. That's a reference. There's a commit objects. But was there a tree objects? Tree objects. Oh, it's the mode. The mode is what we look for. If you're 644, that's a normal file. 755 executable file, symbolic link, and then I think 4,000 or 40,000 or whatever that was is a folder. Because I'm not seeing anything in the actual tree itself that says like blob. All I see is something like this. So I think the 4,000. Your tree writing function should also tell you whether or not you're writing out a blob or a tree anywhere. I know, but I'm reading a tree file that I created with Git itself. And I'm going to be reading something that like Git created up on GitHub. So that's the problem there. I think that's what it is. We have to look at the mode. So parse the header won't work. So, okay, we don't need to parse the header. Like, there's no reason to parse the header anymore. If I parse mode and file name, which also gives me the type, great. So file name is that. So then I really want to take this mode and, okay, then we're going to do a from for the tree object type. So instead of a U8 for this, you're going to be a U32. So if you are, now we have to look at what these are. I think it was something like 10064 is a blob. Also, oh wait, that's 664, I think. Like, or just 644. You're a blob. If you're 40,000. Okay, yeah, so 100644 or 644. One less number for the fours, and then 755. So that. Okay, so if you're any of those, otherwise we can't create you. Okay, so parse header, we don't do this anymore, but we once again skip one. Okay, and then we get you, and then we print you out. Okay, let's try this again. Yes and no, but both should follow the same logic. If you're not writing blob anywhere, it needs to be inferred from the mode. If you're writing it, it should be readable from the file you received. But I don't think it's in there. I don't think like the word blob, like, oh, sorry, I don't think the word blob, tree, commit, tag, or whatever is in there, which is fun. Okay, so we get a blob now, and everything else should be right. Okay. So now I want to loop through. So for the lines, so we'll do for line that won't work because I get next on those. Oh wait, we're already splitting, aren't we? No? Okay, so wait, I'm getting all these things. We're getting all the lines for this. I want to iterate over I can't iterate over the lines because we need these two for each line. Okay, so we want while lines dot. Is there a way for me to tell if there's any is next like is next? Left or something like that? Uh-oh. Oh no, Skimmus. Wait, what link was that? Oh, of course it was code. Of course. I'm sorry about that. While let some line equals lines done next. Oh, well, see, but that's the problem is I need to do it twice. So inside the same loop. Inside this loop, I need to do this twice. So I essentially need to do something like loop. These two things. We create a tree object in here. And then we push the tree object in, right? So then we just do tree objects. Tree object. Okay, so we're good to go. We've pushed you in here, but we need a way to know that we've reached the end and there's nothing next. Because those are options, aren't they? Which I was handling outside of it, but well, I guess, you know what? Up here. All right, let's update you. Let's not take this. Oh, if the line's iterator is peekable, oh, I have not used peek. Ooh, let's try it. So we push you in. So now if I do, ooh, it is peek. Okay, so peekable creates an iterator which can use the peek and peek mute methods. Okay, so wait, I want to do this up here, don't I? So make you peekable. And now we can do if lines dot peek returns a reference to the next value without advancing the iterator, which that's going to be a none. Okay, so if let none equals lines.peek, I want to break. We're done. Now you're done here. Let's debug all of the tree objects. And we should be good to go. We panicked at line 33. Error parsing mode and file name. Invalid UTF-8 sequence of 1 bytes from index 1. Uh-oh. How many did we get through? Let's see how many objects we get. Once. Okay, so we go through one and we're good. The second one we're no longer good on again, which is great. Okay, so can we see what you are? Can I do like an else? I don't think I can, right? So let's do if let some. Oh, it's gonna be bytes. Oh, because I skipped one. Okay, so hold on. Do I have to skip 2? Because it's 12, and that's not right. Now, oh, okay, now I'm confused again. So we have our first null here, but then everything starts. So is there like a final null that I don't care about? So I skip this one, which has like the tree length. No, because you just end. It just ends here, like that. Which I believe is the end hash. Well, that's fun. So it was 12, it was length 12. I get 1. The individual items are not null terminated. Oh, great. Well, then there's my problem. So when will you make a course for Rust or Python with LM? I'm struggling with some RAG, and I'm sure you'll find all the solutions I haven't thought about. I want to. That's actually one of the projects that I have in the backlog, is to do something with LLM. I don't know what to do with it yet. I've heard of RAG, but I don't really know, I don't really know much about it. So I'd have to do a project first, but then maybe we'll do something like that. The hash ends on 20 bytes and then immediately the next one starts. No null byte in between. Oh no. Okay, so then okay, so this is not okay, so this all doesn't work. It was a good idea, but not right. I think, okay, so what are the next things that I can do? We can create a cursor over it. And then just read through it. It's because we don't know how long they are because of, yeah, so we don't know how long each line is because there's no length on the line. There's only a length on the full file, which is not helpful. I could wrap a cursor around the value. And then we'll skip. Okay, so we skip the first. No, we can't just skip the first byte. So we can figure out, okay, skip until the first null. And then we hand it to extract. I mean, that might be what we have to do. Then we just hand everything to extract that. Okay, so I think we have to create a cursor around this. So this idea didn't work, but let's try type 2. So let mute our cursor. Oh, misspelled cursor. A new around the value. We don't do this with lines. So now I want to skip until we get the first null. Can I do that? There's no skip. Oh, I can still read from a slice and then Oh, and then it continues to move forward. Okay, then they don't need a cursor. Or pass the iterator around. I think that's what it is. I have to pass the iterator around. So I'm going to begin by looping through the value until we hit the first null. So I guess let's create a iterator over it, right? So we have the value iter. Now, how do I move to, well, that's seek, right? That's why I need seek. I need to find where that first null is. None of these. I can find. You can do that with the skip while and other adapters. Oh, okay. Wait, is there a skip while on here? Ooh, okay, so skip. Creates an iterator that skips elements based on a predicate. Skip while takes a closure as an argument. It will call this closure on each element of the iterator and ignore elements until it returns a false. Oh, until it returns a false. Okay. Oh, that's like backwards from what I was expecting. So we're gonna get a byte. And I want the oh, weird. And I want the byte to not be equal to a null. And that returns a new iterator? Oh, yeah, okay. So this is going to be our so values after header. So now everything after. So this skips us into here. So now we should just go straight to the mode. And now I want to hand it this iterator and it extracts the mode out. And so this is going to be something an impulse iterator item equals U8. Okay, so this will be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So we're going to do a pub function, extract we'll extract the mode first. So extract mode. Oh, I need another skip one to skip the null byte itself. Oh, it doesn't skip it. Oh, it doesn't go over it. It just goes right up to it. Oh, that's too bad. Skip one. Okay, cool. Done. Okay, so extract mode. We have you. And then, okay, so we want our iterator over the items. So we have our bytes. And that this is going to be something that impulse iterator. Is it type or item? I guess it's item equals a U8. Okay, so I want to extract out. Okay, so extract it out. We have, this is just all the bytes now. So I want to go up until, so these are mode bytes. You're going to be we don't know how long you are, right? So we'll just make this a vector. We will loop through this until we find a null byte. Is that another null byte? A space byte. So for so we begin looping through this. Wait a second, but this isn't going to work, right? Because this is going to, wait, I'm giving ownership of the iterator over to it. So either I need to give the iterator back to it, or I need to take a reference to the iterator. I should probably do a reference to the iterator. Is it there? There, okay. So for byte in bytes, we want to, so okay, we want to check to see if you, as long as you are not, so if byte is equal to a space, then we're going to break out. Otherwise, we're going to push the byte into here. And then once we have that, we're going to convert the node byte to a string and then parse it. Fun. So we're going to do self dot mode is going to be equal to okay. And that should allow me to extract the mode and we move through. Take while instead? I haven't tried take while. Also, hello, Hugh. How are you doing today? Take while it's not, oh yeah, take while it's not a thing. That could work. Let me see if this works, and then we'll try that. Okay, so tree object. You wouldn't be okay, so do I want this loop anymore? I want the loop. Okay, we're gonna do, okay, so we skip all that, so we skip into the first null, we skip that, and then I start, like, I pass the iterator in, and it does its thing. Okay, and then I need to start doing it over and over and over again until we no longer have anything left in the iterator. And so then I want peekable in there. And so if there's no more items in here, why are you upset? Are you upset because you're not mutable? Oh, you need to be mutable. Why does peek need it to be mutable? Oh, it expected, oh, fun. Expected a peekable skip while iter. Oh, so impl iterator doesn't work for that? Oh, that's not good. Let's not make you peekable. Let's not do this. And let's panic again, because that's always been great. Extract mode. Oh, so this is wrong. So it doesn't. This is a Rust analyzer. You're lying to me. This is not the type. Oh, the error set needs to be over owned U8. Oh, here. I was looking at this error. To be an iterator, it yields U8, but it yields reference to U8. Oh. Yeah. Well, that's silly of me. Fine. But okay, we'll still do the same thing. And I'll add the peekable stuff back in if I need to. Or if I can't. Crash. Error. I should probably have checked for errors before I did anything. Anonymous lifetimes and infiltrate are unstable. Okay. I have to do it on a lifetime here. Okay, so you just changed the iterator to use copied. What do you mean by that? I don't think I can copy it. Unless it was a smart pointer, but I don't think iterators are smart pointers. chain copied onto the end, so it's over U8. But the concern then is, as I'm looping through and using this iterator here, does it, even if I copy it, does it work over here? Oh, when you mean copied this thing. Okay. I'm thinking about the wrong thing. It copies all the elements. Okay, I'm not for some reason my brain was thinking about copying the iterator, but what really copy does is it copies the values in the iterator. Much better. Okay, there we go. Now we can do that. Now you're happy. Now we can test. And okay, so we panicked. That's good. I mean, if I had pushed this in here, that would have been even better. Okay, first item, mode 10064. Oh, the ad break started. I didn't want that to happen because we're about to end. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Twitch. I wasn't paying attention to, I have to look way over there to see the ad break in process. Previously, I want to say they were putting this into the chat of like the ad break starting soon. I'm kind of sorry, kind of like sad that they didn't continue that. Or maybe it like changed for some reason. Okay, so now we have this, which is good. So we extract the mode. Next up, I want to pub function set object type. I don't need anything passed in. I'm just doing result because I can. And now we want to pass it in from the mode. Right, so now we just do self dot object type equals wrong object type, tree object type. From self.mode. Yeah, that cannot fail. And so if something cannot fail, there's no reason to do a result. This one also cannot fail. Wait, no, it can fail. Question marks. This one cannot fail. So there's no reason to do a result. So not that far. We do that. All right, that's my alarm. Okay, so we do that, then so tree object set the object type, and so now it should be, I mean, it's going to be a blob the same, but like it should actually, you know, okay. Wait, should not crash. Attempting to extract tree object type, but not one of the types. Well, that's not great. What was the type? The type was 100644. One zero zero six four four. Shouldn't it have done that? Oh, 664. Thank you. Was that 664? No, it's 6, yeah. 1007. Thank you, Hugh. There we go. Okay, so we have our mode, we have our object type. Next would be file name. I am running out of time though, unfortunately. So, but I do want to check to see if this works the way we expect it to. So, tree object. Let's try setting this up as quickly as we can. So pub function, extract file name. And our bytes are going to be the mutable iterator over that. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We want to move. Okay, so we want to move around. We want to get probably the mode bytes, loop over it. But do the same thing, right? Because this is until at the end of get attributes, it's a null, right? I think it's a null to let us know it's done. Otherwise, we don't know it's done. It's not a space because that's something that's printable here. It's a null. So now we can try the one you were suggesting, which is going to be a take while. So I do bytes, creates an iterator that yields elements based on a predicate. Take while takes a closure as an argument. It will call this closure on each element and yield while it returns true. Okay, so I want let byte, let byte, 4 byte. And bytes that take while. I want the byte to be, wait, is it true or false? Creates an iterator that yields elements based on a predicate. Take a while, takes a closure element. It will call this closure on each element of the iterator and yield elements while it returns true. So while the byte is not equal to a null character. Okay, so 4 bytes in bytes take while. We get this byte. I want to throw it into the name. So we're gonna do our file name bytes. This will have to be a vector. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that right before you put that in there. Okay, so I put you in there. You have the vector. I want to create a string from this, and then we're going to return that. And if I remember a string from, this can return an option, so a result. So we're going to turn a result. Nothing in it. So we're going to say self dot file name is going to be equal to string from UTF-8, hand it the file name bytes, give it a context of extracting file name, and question mark that. And now we should be good. So now we run extract file name and pass it in the iterator. I can collect those bytes. Ooh, I could collect them into a vector. Nice. I'll have to do that next time because I've run out of time. So if we run you now we see the file name. Okay. So unfortunately I've run out of time. I'm sorry about that, but I'm 7 minutes over. I have to leave early today because I have a meeting that's coming up and I need to prepare for it. We're like, I think we're getting really close on this refactor here, which then should allow us to move forward back on the clone command that we were working on previously. And then hopefully if we get all day next Monday, I think there's a fairly good chance we can be done with this. Fairly good chance. So with that, let me go ahead and commit this before I forget. And what message should we give ourselves? So we're still working in JRS, refactoring, or rewriting, really. Rewriting the loop that lets parses extracts info from the bytes. All right, and then I'll be able to take a look at that and then go from there. CodeCrafters is obviously going to yell at us when it gets to the lstree command because we don't do it right. So I don't think we need to hang around and look at that. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out today. Had some fun discussions. We got some fun places in CodeCrafters. And unfortunately, I have to leave early. So with that, have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here at the normal time in order to work on the LMS and Docker course. So if you're interested in U or Rust on the front end using U, check that out. So with that, have a good one and bye.